drones in the sky, cities under siege, and a nation collapsing. Sudan's war rages on as new RSF drone strikes shake Khartoum, even as the army claims momentum on the ground. But beneath the battles lies a deeper horror: famine, child soldiers, and a world looking away. This is Sudan's war on its own children. The war in Sudan is showing no signs of abating as the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces launched new drone attacks on Sudanese army positions in Khartoum state. According to the Sudan Tribune, the Sudanese army intercepted 10 attack drones that targeted a military site in northern Omdurman, west of Khartoum. Residents reported powerful explosions before dawn as smoke billowed from the military area in Serkab, north of Omdurman. The RSF also struck a military camp in Bara, just north of the capital. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. Neither the Sudanese Armed Forces nor the RSF issued immediate statements following the attacks. The latest strikes come as the RSF faces mounting battlefield losses. Over recent months, the group's territorial control has sharply declined as the SAF regained major strongholds, including large parts of Khartoum, White Nile, and North Kordofan states. Since April 2023, Sudan has been engulfed in a brutal conflict between the SAF, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the RSF, commanded by Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hemeti. The fighting has claimed more than 20,000 lives, displaced some 15 million people, and plunged the nation into what the United Nations calls the world's worst humanitarian crisis. However, some estimates paint an even grimmer picture. Research by several American universities suggests the real death toll could be as high as 130,000. Amid signs of a shifting frontline, Sudanese forces captured the strategic city of Bara in September. A victory, analysts say, may alter the course of the war. Bara lies roughly 350 kilometers southwest of Khartoum along the crucial export road, a trade artery connecting the capital to El Obeid, capital of North Kordofan state. The artery not only carries goods, but also serves as a vital supply route for the army's operations. Independent military analyst Akram Ali told Al Jazeera that SAF's capture of Bara gave it solid control of the export road as a supply route, strengthening its logistical independence and signalling a major strategic gain. Ali explained that Bara and El Obeid's location, near the western edge of SAF-controlled territory, gives the army a key logistical advantage. He noted that El Fasher, the capital of North Darfur, remains the last city held by SAF in that region, now isolated by RSF-controlled zones. For the RSF, losing Bara was a major blow. The city had served as a logistics centre connecting their western bases in Darfur to Kordofan and South Sudan. That corridor facilitated weapons and fighter movements, which are now severely disrupted. Analyst Abdul Majid Abdul Hamid described how SAF launched a decisive offensive on Bara on September 11th. SAF forces used continuous drone strikes to weaken RSF defences before deploying their fast-moving Darfur Track Armed Struggle Movement force from El Obeid. According to a Sudanese military officer speaking anonymously, the operation focused on speed and diversion, tying up RSF reinforcements elsewhere while the SAF unit advanced. Civilians in Bara overwhelmingly sided with the National Army, prompting a rapid RSF withdrawal. The victory severed RSF's supply lines to neighbouring areas such as Al-Kuwait and Al-Nahud. Hamid explained that the success cut off RSF supply and military support lines, isolating their remaining positions in central Kordofan. Military analyst Ahmed Shomokh added that retaking Bara reactivated SAF's airbase in El Obeid, the largest in Kordofan, after 2 years of dormancy. He said this would significantly enhance the logistical and combat capabilities of the Sudanese army. Ali further emphasized that SAF's momentum in Kordofan marks the beginning of the RSF's actual collapse. Hamid agreed, stating that victory in Kordofan would pave the way for SAF's final push into Darfur.
The army has combat experience and personnel capable of liberating Kordofan with the same capabilities it used to retake the cities of central Sudan and the capital.
As the military tide turns, the humanitarian crisis in Sudan has reached unimaginable depths, with children paying the heaviest price. A new investigation by the Raoul Wallenberg Center for Human Rights, titled "A War on Children, a World Complicit," concludes that both the SAF and RSF have committed widespread atrocities against children, including killings, sexual violence, forced recruitment, and the destruction of essential infrastructure such as hospitals and schools. Former UN humanitarian coordinator Mukesh Kapila, introducing the report, did not mince words.
The atrocities committed include enslavement and sexual violence targeting children in its most depraved forms, as well as their forced conscription as soldiers.
The report links external actors to the conflict, especially the United Arab Emirates. It asserts there is substantial evidence, including from RSF informants, confirming that the UAE is the primary supplier of heavy weaponry, armoured vehicles, munitions and drones, as well as financing and political cover to the RSF and allied militia. The investigation argues that this support places the UAE in standing breach of the Genocide Convention and the Convention on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination for Complicity in Genocide. Legal experts, including former International Criminal Court prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo, reviewed and endorsed the findings. The report's statistics expose staggering suffering. 16 million children urgently need aid, 17 million are out of school, and nearly 4 million under 5 suffer acute malnutrition. The blockade of El Fasher, under RSF siege for more than 500 days, has trapped its entire population in famine conditions. UNICEF warns the crisis is reaching irreversible levels.
Children are dying from hunger, disease, and direct violence. They are being cut off from the very services that could save their lives. This is not hypothetical, it is a looming catastrophe.
Despite the enormity of the need, funding is far from adequate. UNICEF says it faces a $1 billion shortfall for its 2025 operations in Sudan. The Wallenberg Center's report also names multiple companies linked to the conflict, from UAE royal-owned firms to French and Turkish defense suppliers, a Colombian mercenary group, an Australian mining company, and several US conglomerates, all allegedly connected to the warring parties. The report concludes with a stark warning. The scale of Sudan's suffering is compounded by global complacency. As the war grinds on, Sudan's children bear its most unforgiving burden, trapped between bombs, hunger, and the world's indifference.